Alright fellas, yo, what's up? My name is Patrouski, and today we are reacting to a Quizbee video, one of my favorite up-and-coming Pokemon content creators who is still incredibly underrated. It is a crime that this guy does not have at least 1,000 subs. He deserves more. Go check him out. This video will be linked first thing in the description. Whenever we do react content here, it is so crucial to give love and support to the original creators and then show off their content and hopefully give them a little bit of boost while also adding my own perspective as someone who's played PokeMMO for over 11,000 hours over the past 13 years. I love this game very much. I'm really excited for a newer player's perspective. Now, Quizbee's really entrenched himself and has become a real part of the game, but this video was made about a month or two ago when he was a bit newer, and he's really kind of just coming into his own, and it's really beautiful to see. I want to see his thoughts on PokeMMO shiny hunting. This video is called How PokeMMO Saved Shiny Hunting, which I'm really curious to see because I often think of shiny hunting as something that unfortunately not every new player understands. It's something that, like, you don't, if it's not for you, it's not for you, which is totally fair, but it's something that I feel like unfortunately only veterans or like hardcore players can really appreciate the beauty of, like, a long-term grind, you know? Not everybody gets it, which is fair, but I hope they can at least understand. So I'm going to pop my amulet coin and do my gym rerun on my Ironman account in the background, making some progress in game. Let's go ahead and see what Quizbee has to say and has the fresh perspective of a newer player. What can he teach us old heads about PokeMMO?
Shiny Pokemon. A mechanic introduced in Generation 2 to show off their newly released console, the Game Boy Color. Back in the day, the shiny rate was about 1 out of 8,000. But in the modern Pokemon games, that rate is now 1 out of about 4,000. The newest game to come out, Pokemon Legends ZA, has so many new ways to shiny hunt, but maybe a little too.
I don't play modern Pokemon. Isn't the base rate in the modern games even lower than this? That could just be me, like, hating on. I try not to hate on the modern games. I think the modern games are really cool. I don't play them. I don't like the balancing. I have issues with things. I like a lot of the Pokemon designs. I think people overly shit on. Often people who don't like the newer games are just like, the newer games suck. There's no positives. They all just suck. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, I think Lechonk, like, I think a lot of the Pokemon designs and trainer designs and the music, like, there are really cool things about the newer games. I personally just don't like the shiny balancing, and probably the storyline balancing is kind of the main thing. But yeah, you can get it significantly lower. You have permanent shiny charm in the future games, things like that. Yeah, okay.
The newest game to come out, Pokemon Legends ZA.
Also, sorry to, you don't like, I'm gonna be pausing a lot. That's how I watch, I add a lot of context, right? Something that I've always critiqued about the newer games is that it's insane. I love Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is a really fun alternative Pokemon game. It is insane to me that you can transfer Pokemon Go shinies to the main games. I think that is actually one of the most broken things about modern Pokemon. I caught 52 shiny Eevees on a 2-day shiny Eevee weekend in Pokemon Go. Why can I transfer 52 shiny Eevees if I wanted to the mainline? That's insane. That is, like, so unbalanced.
Has so many new ways to shiny hunt, but maybe a little too many ways. Some Pokemon you can get shiny by doing absolutely nothing. I don't mean that figuratively. You can just change the day and night cycle by resetting on the bench over and over, resetting all the Pokemon in the area except for the shinies. And that really got me thinking.
That sounds like a miserable method. Not even to critique the rate, but that just method sounds incredibly unfun.
Modern Pokemon games ruin shiny hunting? I've been playing Pokemon since Generation 4 and have been an avid shiny hunter since about Generation 6. And I've never, ever seen as many shinies as I have in Legends.
That's kind of based. Like, not to, like, the fact that this guy, I love Quizbee. I feel like he's a really empathetic person. The fact that he started shiny hunting. He didn't start shiny hunting until Gen 6 and still prefers the slower rates. That to me is like chasing truly what he wants and not just going for nostalgia. That's, like, really impressive. You know, it's kind of like there are a few gamers, you'll run into gamers who are born in, like, the year 2. Like, I was born in 1998, right? But I still fell in love with the PS1, which released in 1994, right? A little bit, you know, I think a lot of us grew up with that, though. A lot of us used to grow up, like, one generation behind on video game consoles, and I feel like it teaches you to appreciate things in a proper staircase ladder, as opposed to just jumping to the most modern thing, and teaches you a lot about the history of things, which teaches you more appreciation and understanding for, like, game design and coding and all that stuff.
ZA. And then, when I needed it most, I found PokeMMO, a massively successful fan game that combines the first 5 regions into one enormous world. Almost every mechanic in the game has been changed or tweaked. Gym leader levels,
the genius idea tiles,
and yes, shiny hunting. PokeMMO took the bold stance of decreasing the shiny odds from 1 out of 4,096 to 1 out of 30,000.
which I love. And I do want to qualify, this is not for everybody, and I don't think everybody needs to enjoy, like, harder doesn't automatically equal better, but it does equal more payoff and more of a challenge. And some people want more of a challenge, and some people don't with their video games. I always try to qualify, like, PokeMMO is not like an inherently better game for shiny hunting. I like it more. I think the system is more balanced. I would argue that. I would argue the system is more balanced versus the rate itself, right? And we'll get into like the different methods of shunting and how like the 1 in 30,000 rate also sounds very scary. But when you do ×5 hordes, what's up? Quizby popped in chat. Perfect timing. Are you on your lunch break? What's up, man? Happy to have you. When you compare time, so a really interesting thing. People often think that the 1 in 30,000 rate comes like out of their ass and like where did that number come from, right? In my opinion, this has not been confirmed, but when you do ×5 hordes to hunt for a shiny Pokemon in PokeMMO, it takes about 30 hours for a shiny. So the fastest shiny in PokeMMO is about 30 hours. If you single encounter hunt in the old Pokemon games like Emerald, Fire Red, etc., you get a shiny in about 30 hours. We're guesstimating, and it's kind of a rough guesstimation here, to be honest, but on average, it's about the same. So the fastest shun in PokeMMO is about the same time it would take for the original shiny hunts in the original games. I think that's really interesting. And then you can get into much harder hunts. There are hunts that take as long as 2,000 hours in PokeMMO, but you go from like, you have a 30-hour hunt, then you have like a 60-hour hunt, and then you have like a 65-hour hunt, a 100-hour hunt, 150-hour hunt. Like, there are so many different options in PokeMMO, and I think the difficulty selections and being able to choose what you want to do is what really makes PokeMMO shiny hunting special.
Now, you may hear that and think, why would I ever shiny hunt in PokeMMO? I'm
Valid.
just not gonna get a shiny.
Valid.
I'm here to tell you that PokeMMO is actually the best game for shiny hunters. Let me explain. Let's say you're playing a Pokemon game and you catch a shiny. What's the first thing that you do? I'll wait, type your answer in the comments. You take a picture or screenshot to share with your friends.
Based.
Shiny hunting is all about the grind.
Social.
The grind pays off. Sharing your achievements almost mandatory. When I started playing PokeMMO, I loved reading global chat and just watching the community react to each other's shiny.
Like, that's so wholesome.
Seeing how supportive the community was of shiny hunters really made me want to start shiny hunting myself.
Which was not always the case. I've told this, bro, I've been shiny hunting since 2013. People used to laugh at me. People used to laugh at me for shiny hunting in PokeMMO in 2013. It was seen as a waste of time. Nobody should shiny hunt in the game because the rate was so rare and it was just so unlikely. They were like, why would you ever shiny hunt and not EV train or not XP train or not catch something or do something else along the way? And for those who don't know, that slows it down dramatically. If you XP train, you get about 600 encounters per hour versus 1,000 if you just shiny hunt. Now, back in the day, to be fair, they had more of a point because hordes didn't exist. Back then, single encountering was the only thing, and the game was also a lot slower. People complain about the pace of PokeMMO today. EV training a single Pokemon used to take 10 hours at Lavender Tower to special attack EV train because the encounters were so slow. You couldn't run on the tiles. You have to walk on the tiles in the little Lavender Tower going for ghastly spawns. Every time you would get a Haunter, you would do a little fist bump because that meant you just did two EVs in one battle versus one EV. It was way different, and I'm not, that's like my nostalgia. The game is much better now. It was fun and interesting back then, but the game is better now.
I will never forget the wall of GGs that just flooded the global chat. A bunch of strangers.
Global chat is hit or miss. You will find a lot of questionable things in most MMO global chats, but I think one thing global chat does pretty well is they do always GG's people. That's like, it's funny, like global chat will shit talk and like shit post and meme and get political for some reason in a video game, but then when it comes to someone posting their fresh shiny, they almost always spam GGs. They lock in.
You are. They don't know your story, but they're genuinely excited to see you get your shiny.
Like, that is true.
The shiny hunting community in PokeMMO is more than positive. It's inspiring, uplifting, motivating. Okay.
Man, this is so sweet. This is like everything I want. I wanted it to be like 10, 13 years ago, and now we're here, man.
It's time to address the Dawn fan in the room. The shiny rate. 1 out of 30,000. What the hell were they thinking? Do they just hate shiny hunters? Why would they do this? Well, there's actually a couple of reasons for this change.
I know I'm pausing a lot. Shiny hunting and quick little thing. Shiny hunting in PokeMMO is comparable to like playing Dark Souls. You play the game because you enjoy the difficulty. That's like a huge part of it. That's what makes accomplishing that thing that much more impactful.
Let's start with the GTL. If the shiny rate was any lower, you would consistently be able to buy shinies for less than 1 million Pokeyen.
But Quizby, why would I want to buy a shiny? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of shiny hunting?
Well, yes and no. Buying shinies off the GTL is generally frowned upon, unless you are breeding. If you get a shiny and want to breed it, you actually need another shiny to do so. Shinies only breed with other shinies, which ties back into why you would need to buy shinies off the GTL and ties back into the shiny rate. If it was any lower, breeding shinies would be way too cheap, and you would see so many Shelfas with crazy stats running around. And we'd be back to where we are with Legends EA. Now, let's talk about the real reason the shiny rate is 1 out of 30,000. It makes shinies valuable again.
Okay,
I got
the cat.
whiplash going from ZA, where I was getting an average of 3 shinies a day, to PokeMMO, where I was lucky to get a shiny at all. At first, I hate it.
I do think playing both of these games is also good. Something that I will do sometimes is I will play PokeMMO and then I will also play Pokemon Go. I think those two games, like, they're very different, but it's fun. I think having the duality of a game where there's very easy shinies and a game where there's very hard shinies is really beautiful. You don't have to like think one is good or bad. You can enjoy both for different reasons. I love encouraging myself to touch grass and also get fast shinies, like 1 a day, while playing Pokemon Go versus PokeMMO. I know that I'm committing like months or weeks or years sometimes for one shiny.
Hated it. Like, I really, really hated it. Shiny hunting was not interesting to me in this game. I didn't want to do it. I didn't understand it. But now I do. Hitting a shiny in PokeMMO is like no other experience you will have in your gaming history. It's not like any other achievement. It's personal. There's a story behind it. Once I finally realized this, I knew I had to give shiny hunting a try.
It's so true, man. And even little things like remembering what song you were listening to when you got the shiny, or what movie you were watching, or anime, or YouTube video, like remembering where you remember where you were when you got that shiny because it's that impactful.
And God, was I lucky. I got my first shiny after only 7,000 encounters, and I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome. Oh, Vanilla is such a good first shunt too. It's winter only, so you can only really hunt this efficiently in the winter. It's really smart to go for this early. What? It's such a cool feeling getting your first shiny, man. And the sparkle. Also, videos like this, like I want to shunt now.
I started hunting for Magikarp until I had to go to sleep. But when I did, all I could think about was getting the shiny Magikarp. I would wake up in a panic, check my phone. Did I catch it? No, I was just a dream. Okay, go back to sleep.
The early PokeMMO addiction is real. This game will suck you in.
Finally waking up and doing 2,000 encounters, I got it. My dream became a reality.
If you don't have free time, I don't recommend starting Pokemon. I'd wait a little bit. 1,600 encounters.
What is my luck right now? What is my luck right now?
Then, only 2 days later, with 6,000 encounters,
oh
I
my
got
goodness,
a shiny Dino with insane stats. Like, honestly, I'm never
he
gonna
went
get
for
a
great
shiny
shunts
ever again. I just need to flex this.
Vanillish into, oh my god, these stats are insane. Also, he got a great particle effect on it, the shiny Kanto Friends particle effect. I haven't seen this shiny from Quizby. 31 speed, 30 double 31, 25 plus attack. This is like, what's the nature? This is like maybe usable if the nature is there.
This is just my.
This is like modest, rash, mild, timid.
This is my baby.
Even if it's like adamant, there have been like certain head smash or physical Hydreigon builds. They're kind of weird, but they have been used sometimes in raids or PBM.
Are you
The beautiful shiny.
What?
Now, I love the cats, dude. What scares me is whenever you go this lucky, RNG evens out in PokeMMO. If you shiny hunt long enough, you will go dry and you will go wet, is what we call it around here. Okay? So I'm curious to see.
Are you?
Now, I already know Frisbee's future in terms of that.
Breaking, bro.
I've been keeping an eye on him and keeping an eye on his shunts, man. He's doing a great job.
Might just be. Are you kidding me? And it's my target? 0 phase. 0 phase.
Yeah, for reference, there is a player currently right now, PokeMMO, who's 215,000 encounters dry. And for those who don't know, the driest shiny hunt we've ever seen in PokeMMO that was actually confirmed by the developers was Kuroshi, who went around 475,000 encounters dry for a shiny in PokeMMO, and it was during the first ever PokeMMO Shiny Wars, and that was a gut punch to their team.
I jumped. It's not even my shiny.
After that insane wet streak, I decided I need to go for a bit of a more difficult hunt. The shinies I had got before were 5x swords, but this one was going to be a 3x sword with other Pokemon that can spawn there. And that's when I got my first taste of a dry streak.
Yep.
I hit a shiny
It
Barrel at
happens.
41,000 encounters, which was the shiny I wanted the least, and now I'm back up to 43,000 encounters, still looking for that Ralts. I'm telling you all of this just to reassure you that yes, PokeMMO is super hard for shiny hunting. Probably the hardest in any fan game out there, but it's also the most rewarding shiny you will ever get. Of course, there's the rare exception where somebody goes 100,000 encounters dry, but just imagine what that feels like when that person finally hits. The relief, the sigh, the it's done.
Yes. Also nowadays, it's done. Wow, that hits. Also nowadays, the fact that they added the official encounter counter in PokeMMO, it's still pretty new to the game, but the fact that whenever you get a shiny, it now says on the Pokemon's summary page, like, oh, you caught it at like 38,000 encounters. I think that's a huge flex. I love seeing people who have like a 150k dry, like 180k dry, like 100k plus, like seeing the dry shinies on their summary pages is really, really cool. And it's like an extra element of like collecting and an extra element to like factor in with your shiny hunting stats.
Shinies are the digital manifestation of all of your hard work, all of your grinding.
Exactly.
And the community loves grinders. So please, 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 don't let that 30,000 encounter number scare you away from shiny hunting.
It's more accessible than people realize with hordes.
Actually are. Thank you so much for watching.
I think a lot of people are only used to single encounter shiny hunting and don't know about hordes in PokeMMO, and that makes it feel inaccessible. Now, 30 hours is still a long time. Don't get me wrong. You could beat 3 video games in 30 hours. I'm not crazy. I touch grass enough to understand, oh, the average gamer doesn't want to sit there for 30 hours and shiny hunt for a different colored virtual monster. I get it, but I do think it is more accessible than people still realize, and it makes it more meaningful, and I just can't recommend like trying it out and seeing if it's for you,
Watching the video till the end, you have no idea how much that means to me.
Dude,
if you
Crispy's
enjoy
awesome.
the content, drop a like and a subscribe. I stream almost daily on that
Love his little
level.
cats, dude. Check them out. The editing, the vibes, like these are the kind of videos. Quizby is making the kind of videos that I would re-watch if I'm feeling like bummed or demotivated. This is what PokeMMO YouTube is largely about. Like when you are deep into a shiny hunt, when you are 50k dry, 80k dry, 100k dry, go check out Quizby. Go check out my videos if they help you. Go check out whoever helps you, whoever like motivates you. Go watch their videos, whatever, movies, music, everything, right? Like it's all about, or even ask your bros, head in Discord and say, hey guys, I'm feeling kind of bummed, I'm 100k dry. Your bros will lift you up. Like shiny hunting is all about lifting each other up and continuing the journey. It's an endurance game. It's a marathon game. It's all about like running alongside each other. It's fantastic. I love shiny hunting, so check out Quizby. The link will be down in the description. He's doing great stuff, and I'm excited to just watch more of his stuff here on my channel. Quizby's fucking killing it, dude. Nice work, Kane.